freaking absolute savage!
Yeah. Absolute scumbag. Yeah. Yeah, I must have been a real absolute scumbag for somebody to do that to me, yeah. Allow me to take off my $1,100 Chanel runway sunnies that are paid for by my sponsors, because that makes you a backyarder. Yeah, that makes me a real hack, man. Let me take off the Hollywood shades that are paid for by the companies that back me, because I'm a real hack, man. I think I'm done putting up with the wrestling fans and the wrestling industry, the rules, and any professional wrestler that wants to chirp like an absolute bitch. I am done. Absolute scumbag, though, I'm not really worried about it. I actually think it's a real teaching moment for all the fans out there. You see, an absolute scumbag is a man who fakes a back injury to get lifetime disability on the backs of a taxpayer for the rest of his life. An absolute scumbag is a man who manipulates his senile 95-year-old mother with Parkinson's to sign over the family fortune to you entirely before she dies. An absolute scumbag is a man who's just so addicted to heroin. He steals, he gets in a high-speed chase, he gets in an altercation with a cop and kills him, leaving that cop's family, wife and children to fend for themselves for the rest of their lives. An absolute scumbag is someone on EBT who spends their last $20 not to update his resume, but to sit second row at a professional wrestling show and try to sabotage matches, try to sabotage promos, try to sabotage the careers and the hopes and the dreams of the very superstars that are there to entertain them. But most of all, an absolute scumbag is someone who hates a wrestler so much that they do this. They smash in the windshield of that wrestler. That is a scumbag move, man. Yeah, that is a scumbag. And I don't know who did it. I didn't see who did it. But as far as I am concerned, every single fan of Northeast Wrestling did it. Every single professional wrestling fan of today's professional wrestling product did that. Every single professional wrestler that kowtows to the whims of all the smart mark internet fans that are destroying the business of professional wrestling. Their moves, their promos, you kowtow to these Comic-Con looking dweebs who have absolutely no chance in life. You kowtow to them, so maybe someday you can get down to Orlando and give up your intellectual property for $60,000 a year. Yeah, sign me up for some of that, man. I don't think that's what's on the cards for me. Absolute scumbag? No, I am not an absolute scumbag. The fans of professional wrestling, the fans of Northeast Wrestling are the absolute scumbags. I am the absolute savage on my way to the top to become the Northeast Wrestling heavyweight champion and beyond. I'm talking national TV, I'm talking international. It is happening. I am a 33-year-old grown man in his garage where it's 105 degrees, cutting a promo with a 9-month-old and a wife in the house. You think I'm doing this for shits and giggles? I am doing this to absolutely humble you and every single person that has tried to bury me. Millions of views on Instagram, millions of views on YouTube, been on national TV, been on MLB Network, shouted out by everybody on a pay-per-view that sold 40,000, headlining as the main event. I didn't need one goddamn wrestling fan. I didn't need one goddamn wrestling promoter. All they ever did was get in my way, stab me in the back, and want me to be their cheap whore for $100 a night so they could sell a few tickets rather than actually trying to promote me. rather than trying to make a phone call, rather than trying to make something happen. They wanted me to be their cheap little whore for $100 a night. Well, that ain't happening, pal. That is not happening anymore. I am not your hooker. I am not your prostitute. You will not prostitute me for everything that I have built for me and my family. And for all you wrestling fans out there who want to pick the winners and losers, you want to decide the fates of careers, man. You think you're entitled to it. Well, that's fine. I want you to pick who you decide to be the superstars of Northeast Wrestling. You pick them. You decide who the one is, okay? And one by one, you want to ruin my dreams. You want to ruin my destiny. You want to try to get me to stop. Well, I am going to ruin the dreams, the hopes of every single wrestler and every single wrestler's family who you deem acceptable by today's wrestling standards. And one by one, I am going to mow them down and tear them apart, rip their hearts out of their chests, symbolically taking their wrestling lives. I will be, without a doubt, the most destructive, the most pathological, the single most aggressive, psychotic, absolute savage ever in the history of professional wrestling. Oh, you can feel it, man. It's coming. It's coming, man. It's finally coming. I am going to be the serial dream killer of professional wrestling. It is going to happen right here. It's going to happen right in Northeast Wrestling, and it's going to expand beyond. And for all you fans out there, as you look down at the mat and you see your hero breathing the last breath of his wrestling career, I'm going to be the alpha hovering above him, and as the last breath of his wrestling career, I'm going to inhale it. Oh, I'm going to inhale it into my body. And it's going to feel so good. I'm going to feel like God.